and welcome to the weekend preview here at Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. This weekend, Max Verstappen could take his third championship and Red Bull could once again become Constructors' Championship. Let's go down to the press conference for more thoughts.
Welcome everybody to the drivers' press conference ahead of the FIA Formula One Japanese Grand Prix. We have two sessions coming your way, as ever. Group number one. With us now, closest to me, Oscar Piastri, then Lando Norris, Yuki Tsunoda, Alex Albon, and Nico Hülkenberg. Well, let's start with the local hero, Yuki. Suzuka, what does this race mean to you?
Yeah, first of all, track layouts is amazing. It's favorite track, so I just really looking forward to drive hit on track. Seems good weather this week, so just pure. I can feel, pure kind of performance. Formula One as a performance in Suzuka here, like especially first sector. Like line chicanes, fast chicanes, and that's kind of proper aerodynamics, air downforce, corners, and yeah, also for the fans as well. Like it's really far away normally from Japan, to feel kind of support. Exactly how. I didn't expect. Always surprised here. Amount of people supporting Formula One, because to be honest, it's hard to know exactly amount of people watching Formula One from Japan. But yeah, even yesterday and even 2 days before, went Tokyo and did a couple of promotions and those stuff, and I saw lots of Formula One fans here, and just I got really warm welcome from them. So yeah, it's nice to be here, and looking forward to it.
Tell us about your history with this racetrack. When did you first come to Suzuka?
I think I was 16 years old.
I thought it would be younger than that.
No, I was 16 years old, actually.
6 or 16?
16. Okay, I mean the track itself. Yeah. So as a spectator, maybe earlier, yeah. So we could call, I think was we 14, 13 years old. I think I remember when Seb was driving with Red Bull. I think around then, first time I came here, still probably the engine sound was really loud, and so I remember I was wearing kind of earplugs, but yeah, it's incredible. For me, it's the best place to watch Formula One from outside, especially around turn 1, turn 2, even like first sector. Like I can see this Formula One car enter to the corners with the sparkling. Kind of spark, a lot of spark, and I can see how fast they are, and I feel always impressed. Especially also turn 7, turn 8, like Degner corner. That place is just incredible.
Most of the corners are incredible, aren't they? Can we talk a little bit about your approach to this weekend? Because you've had a very tough last couple of races, failing to complete a lap in either one. How does that change your approach coming here?
Nothing, I think. Yeah, I just probably think I just put it like just unfortunate. Especially Monza was the things I couldn't really control. Singapore, obviously there was a bit of room to improve for myself, but also just didn't work out in the end. Just things also happens that I cannot really control as well. So I just reset. At least I take it positive. Just hopefully I digest every bad lucks from there, and yeah, hopefully I can have a good race week here. So just reset and think it positive.
And you've got the updates. You ran the updates in Singapore, didn't you? What did you learn about them during practice there? And do you think the car will be better here?
Your car was good, Singapore. I think also the car itself, characteristic of in the Singapore track, anyway, probably was suiting. When we see what was it, Baku? Yeah, sorry, Baku. Normally we're fast there, like kind of mechanical grip track. We're quite fast. We see here, I think we can see proper aerodynamics if we actually gain from the aerodynamically side from the car. So yeah, if we perform well, I'm quite optimistic for the second half of the season, but we're expecting good performance here as well. So yeah, hopefully we can put it all together and aiming for good results.
All right, well, look, best of luck. Enjoy the support. Alex, coming to you now. Is Checo Perez still on your Christmas card list?
You should have asked Yuki that as well. Yeah, of course he is. You know, it was a bit disappointing, of course, at the race last week. Just points for us, especially. You know, they come long and far away from each other. So to be able to well, let's say not to be able to score points was a bit of a shame. But all forgiven, and you know, we're going into Suzuka now, a track that should play a bit more into our car. But yeah, it was a bit of a. I think it was more disappointing, more because we didn't have many hopes going into Singapore last week, and to be in a position where we could have almost scored points was exciting. And then I think normally, as long as we kept it on track, we would have scored some points, but we didn't.
It's a return to the harder compound tyres here. Does the car normally perform well in those conditions?
Honestly, tyres aren't such a big thing. It's more just about the circuit itself. I think it's kind of low braking, high speed kind of corners around here, and that's actually a style that suits us. We've got some proto tyres to test this weekend. I think that's going to be quite interesting just to give us a lot of mileage basically as drivers, to be on low fuel or get the most out of it. But yeah, honestly, not so different.
And is it fair to say that you love Suzuka? And I cast my mind back to 2019 when you set an identical lap time to Max Verstappen in Q3.
Yeah, it was. I love this circuit. I think it's actually my favourite circuit of the year. That kind of, as Yuki said, it's that feeling that you can really drive the corners and really feel what it's like to drive a Formula 1 car, which sounds silly to say, but a track like Singapore, you don't really feel like you're driving a Formula 1 car. Whereas here, yeah, just the speed and because it's so tight, so narrow, there's grass either side. The immersion of speed, the feeling of the speed is a bit more than where you get, for example, at Paul Ricard. So it's very special, yeah.
All right, look, final one from me. Just tell us about the level of support that you have here.
Not as much as Yuki, that's for sure. But it's okay. It's not bad.
Loves you.
Loves me.
Yeah.
You love me. Oh, Japan loves me. Oh, everyone loves me. Thank you. No, it's a great place. I actually would say Singapore was a bit more my home race than here, but as Yuki said, apparently I'm welcome here. So I love the food. I think I've gained about 3 kilos in the 3 days I've been here. So that's been good.
Sounds fun. Thank you. Best of luck to you. Hulk, coming to you now. What does this race mean to you? Because you've always gone pretty well here.
Is that so? 2019 didn't go so well. That was the last time here, but yeah, it's a cool place. It's a fun circuit. Definitely ranks, very high on my favorite list too. And yeah, it's very different. There's always, exciting coming to Japan and spending a couple of days here.
Well, tell us what you've been up to. I think you've been in Tokyo, right?
I think we all have pretty much. Didn't see much of other F1 faces, but yeah, obviously there's limited time in between, and Tokyo is always worth a trip.
Now, what is the secret to a good lap around Suzuka?
Be quick, connect all the sectors, have a good car balance. Obviously, there's a lot of grip limited zones, a lot of change of directions. It's quick and flowing, as we know. So, yeah, I guess ultimately it comes down to how much grip you have and a good balance. I think it's quite challenging for us here this weekend. Singapore last week, I think, was definitely one of our stronger weekends, especially recently. I think here this weekend obviously quite different track characteristics, and I think they will challenge us.
Hulk, so many people talk about Sector 1 here. What is it like to drive? Are you hitting the brakes or just...
Don't know yet. Let's see. But I don't think so. I think it's just lifting.
Just all about precision?
Yes.
Okay. And look, just a quick question about tyres. We're going back to the harder compounds. Is that good or bad news for you guys?
Neither. I think it's obviously it's the same for everyone, but I think that's neutral. It doesn't, play the main factor. Obviously, it's high energy, high drag, therefore, and I think the soft compounds would really struggle here. So it's in line with what this circuit needs.
All right, look, best of luck to you. Thank you. And I think there's congratulations in order. Oscar, you've just extended your contract with McLaren. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, obviously very happy to have that announced already. It was already around for next year, but to announce it for the end of 26 now is very exciting. Very happy to have my future secured for a long time in Papaya, so I'm looking forward to it.
Why 2 more years? Everyone seems to sign 2-year deals at the minute. Both Mercedes drivers, you as well?
I don't know. I mean, I've still got 3 years after this, but it's I think everybody, it's always nice to have a sense of security, and I think for me it made sense from my point of view, from the team's point of view as well. So just that longevity and continuation together is nice confidence for us all.
Now, this is your first trip to Japan. How are you finding it?
It's been cool. I've been to Tokyo as well, and it's been a really cool experience. Came to Suzuka last night, and it's obviously a bit different to Tokyo out here, but no, I'm enjoying it a lot. Tokyo I really loved first time, so enjoying my time here so far.
Now, I'm going to apologise in advance for this next question, but I did read somewhere that you have learnt to speak Japanese when you were at school, so I was wondering if you could give a message to your Japanese fans in Japanese.
See, this was a long time ago. I did study Japanese at school for 3 or 4 years, but that was probably about 10 years ago now, so I don't remember much. But yeah, arigatou gozaimasu. I mean, it's very, very simple. So I know a few words here and there, but not enough to say thank you. So thank you, and hopefully it's a good weekend.
All right, well, look, final one from me. Just describe the sense of anticipation ahead of your first laps of Suzuka.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's a circuit I've heard plenty of things about, and obviously watched a lot growing up. Being in Australia, this was one of the races that was actually quite friendly for me to watch. So I've watched it a lot. I've driven on video games and simulators. It's always been a fun track. So looking forward to getting out there tomorrow.
Mark Webber had a couple of podiums here back in the day. He's your manager. What advice has he given you?
Prepare your neck for Sector 1. That was the first piece of advice, and obviously there's so many factors here. You know, the wind can play a massive role, especially in all the high-speed corners. It's a long race, a lot of corners where you put a lot of energy through the tyres. So a lot of factors, but your neck's probably a big one.
All right, Oscar, enjoy it. Thank you very much. Lando, coming to you. Can we start by getting your thoughts on a few more years working with Oscar?
First, I mean, congrats to him. I think any contract that allows you to be longer in Formula One, I think is a great thing. So he's performed, he's done everything he's needed to, and probably I think it exceeded most people's expectations from what he's been able to achieve already this season. He's pushed me a lot, and it's not a nice thing. It's not what I want, but he's done a very good job. So congrats to him for another few years. And we've had a fun first half of the season, and it's a lot of progress. And I think for him to be part of that progress and to hopefully continue that into next year, 25 and 26 for himself, is going to be something to really look forward to.
You say he's pushing you a lot. When you look at the whole grid, how strong is McLaren's driver lineup now?
The strongest.
Lovely. And how strong is your car? You had the upgrades in Singapore.
Yeah.
Do you think that will translate here?
Yes. Tough to say. I don't know. I want to believe so. I think everything did what it was meant to do, and I think we definitely took some steps forward. I don't think that we're confident in saying we're as quick as Red Bull. I think Red Bull will probably be dominant this weekend. But I think comparing us to Ferrari and Mercedes has still been just a lot more consistent than what we have. We've still fluctuated quite a bit. On a good weekend, we can be very, very good and maybe a little bit ahead, like we've seen in Silverstone and things like that. But on the whole, Mercedes have probably been the second best car this season, then Ferrari, and then us so far. So we're getting there, but it's still a very different circuit to Singapore with these upgrades. So there's still things for us to find out and analyze from Suzuka.
You say Red Bull are going to bounce back. How sure can you be of that?
Pretty much a guarantee.
Okay. Look, thanks for that. Let's open this to the floor now. Please remember to give your name and publication. Yeah.
Hello everyone. David Croft, Sky Sports F1. Congratulations, Oscar, on the new deal. But Yuki, let's talk AlphaTauri. The assumption is that you'll be driving for AlphaTauri next season. I don't know if you want to enlighten us as to any progress on contracts, but if you are, who should your teammate be?
Speaking already, it's not confirmed yet, but I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I think both perspective is positive. Daniel brings definitely more experience, and he showed a lot of feedback comparison. He's good, really good kind of. He's definitely can tell more details about how the car behaving. So I think it helps a lot for the engineers. And I think engineer likes it, especially how he talks and how he helps the development side. So if the team wants to develop the car more to be competitive, maybe Daniel, but at the same time Liam, I think he showed in the first 2-3 races that immediately he showed a good performance, and probably he's still progressing. So as a performance side, obviously I just done with Daniel 2 races, and it was not really probably the best time for AlphaTauri as well. And last 2 races when Liam actually came into the Formula 1, the car was pretty good, and Monza and Singapore. So actually he had a good time as well. But at the same time, he definitely performed well. So, I think it's AlphaTauri itself. We know it's like a junior team. At the same time, there's a bit of more risk up to if you think about the results in general. So, depends on what they're thinking. If they want more results. Probably Daniel were probably more easier. He had more experience, like especially maybe he can extract that results maybe, but also Liam, he's best. I don't know. I probably it's hard. I'm scary to say.
It sounds like Yuki Marco, just like.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I think Liam also the best score. He beat 9th. I never done 9th, so. I'll stop here.
In short,
maybe Liam and Daniel. 3 seats.
All right, thank you. We're going to take a short break now, and we'll come back with more questions from the print media in just a minute. Welcome back, everybody, to the drivers' press conference here at Suzuka. Group 2 with us now. Closest to me, Valtteri Bottas, then Charles Leclerc, Esteban Ocon, Lewis Hamilton, and Sergio Perez. Now, Checo, please, let's start with you. The million-dollar question coming into this weekend: will Red Bull be back?
Well, that's definitely the target. We still don't understand fully what went wrong or what went so wrong in Singapore. We have some ideas, but certainly this track is very different, so there should not be a reason why not to be strong in Suzuka. Actually, this should be one of the best circuits for us.
Can we just throw it back a week? You say you still don't know exactly what the issues were, but you must have reached some conclusions since the race.
Yeah, we obviously have some good ideas on how we prepare the weekend and the misinformation we had and where things got wrong. But obviously it's something that we will keep internally, but there are some good indications that we probably approached the weekend with the wrong setup.
And was the car better in the race than it had been in practice and qualifying?
Once you are in the traffic, you know, you're driven by traffic in Singapore. It's impossible to know, and obviously taking the tires to the maximum life, being obviously on the different strategy to everyone else, to the optimal strategy, you never know. But the balance was feeling, I think we were more competitive in the race than we were in qualifying, certainly, but still we were not that competitive.
And Checo, you've driven the car in the simulator around Suzuka. How good did it feel there?
Yeah, it felt good, and it felt bad in Singapore already. So hopefully it aligns well, and it can be a good track for us here.
All right, and Checo, the team can win the Constructors' Championship here. What would it mean to do that at Honda's home race?
It will be very special to do it here in front of all our Honda supporters. You know, they've been working extremely hard on the engine side as well, so it will be nice to get it done this weekend.
And Checo, I know you've had your frustrations at times this year, but looking at the team as a whole, do you feel you've been operating at a higher level this year compared to last year?
Yeah, I think the team is operating at an extreme level in all areas, on the strategy, on the mechanics, you know, reliability issues and so on, has been really on top form.
All right, well, look, best of luck
Thanks.
this weekend. Thank you. Lewis, coming to you now. I believe you've already had your first race of the weekend.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about what you and Esteban have been doing.
Yeah, so Esteban and I had planned before, obviously a while ago, that while we're here we'll get our remote control cars together and have a bit of a race on the in the pit lane. So for me it was very reminiscent of when I was a kid on Blue Peter, and it was really cool because it's you know, we all share more in common than we probably think, other than the fact that we're pure racers. But it's very rare that we all get to do things like that, you know, so it was fun.
Hey, tell us a little bit about the cars. I believe they were petrol?
Unfortunately, yeah, I thought they were going to be electric, but...
high revving as well, right?
Yeah, but that's what I raced when I was a kid. I raced electric and petrol, and it was Kyosho, which was it's basically an evolution of the car that you'll see like Senna had, and I had the same car as Senna when I was younger. So, yeah. And he's mega at it, so.
Who won?
It was just a bit of fun.
It was just fun, yeah. I mean, we were like spinning around, but we were like not far. I wasn't far off your pace.
No, I was super impressed because he hasn't done it for years, and he was like, yeah, start slow and all that. And because I practice a lot, like I'm constantly on it. And straight away, like first breaking points, he nails it. So, you know, that's more than impressive.
I flipped it a lot of times. So, yeah. But I think I had a softer setup.
He has a softer setup, yeah. That's right.
I love it. Proper racing drivers. Look, Lewis, can we bring it onto the weekend? And can I get your reaction to something that Checo's just said? Do you and Mercedes believe that Red Bull will be back this weekend?
I have no clue. I would think that if they're not 30 seconds ahead like they have done in the past, then something's up. But no, I think that, as Checo said, it was obviously a difficult weekend, the last one, but their car should be phenomenal here. They've been phenomenal all year long. They've aced pretty much every circuit, and I mean, it's going to be great to watch that car in general. Normally you would come here and it's beautiful to watch the laps that they do, because the whole team as a whole and the drivers are doing an amazing job with the package they have. So it'll be interesting to see how the weekend goes. I hope that we're closer, and I hope they're not as fast as that 30-second gap they've had in the past.
Well, what about your car? I think there's a strong argument that it was the fastest at the Singapore Grand Prix last weekend in the race. How hopeful are you for here?
I don't know whether that's really the case. I think, you know, Carlos was managing at the front. And I think we were all relatively close, I would say, at the front. But what a great race it was, you know, just to have us all that close up front. And I think this weekend, yeah, I don't anticipate having the performance we had in the last race, but we worked very hard we're continuing to try and push in the envelope that we have. So I'm hoping that we're not terribly far off this weekend.
And final one from me, Lewis. Just you often talk about this being your favourite racetrack. Just describe the anticipation you have ahead of jumping in a Formula One car around Suzuka Circuit.
Well, I got a terrible memory. I don't remember saying it was my favourite. It's one of the favourites, I think, for all the drivers, for sure. Just because it's that figure of eight. It's that historic circuit where you saw Ayrton and Alain racing on many years ago, and it is an incredible track to drive on, and it's such a beautiful country as well. So it's just overall a great trip, great food, amazing hospitality, and then the track is just it's one of the greatest layouts that we get to experience in the calendar, and so I just hope that our car works on it.
Best of luck. Thank you for that. Now, Esteban, understandably, you were very frustrated on Sunday night after the gearbox failure. How concerned are you about reliability coming into this one?
Not really, more concerned. I think those things happen, unfortunately, in motorsports. It's, a painful one because we are going to score quite a lot of points and being very close to the top 5 as well in that race. And, the car was suddenly very alive, and very quick all the way through the race. And, I was very happy with the performance that we had. Obviously a premature end to our day and my birthday, so that didn't feel too great. But, we come here, a track that I love so much. Had a great fight with Lewis last year, finished 4th as well. So, it's usually a track that gives us, great performance, and I hope that we can, repeat kind of the same weekend.
Well, the car was much better in Singapore than it was at Monza the week before. So how confident are you about the car here?
Yeah, we did bring some updates into Singapore, which made the difference, really. The team did a really good job, in comparison to Monza, which was a bit of an extreme circumstances, but we really improved the car and had much more performance, qualified back in Q3, for a while. And yeah, in the race, we just, we're overtaking and we're on charge, really, which was a bit, I'm not going to say unexpected, but it was comparison to the other races, and that's really due to the hard work of the team, and each time we have bring something, it has worked out. So yeah, we need to keep doing what we do, keep focusing on ourselves, and hopefully that's going to continue well on the rise.
Final one from me. You were in Tokyo the last couple of days. You went to the Fan Festival, I believe. How was that?
It was incredible. It was very busy, of course. But yes, so many fans, so many supporters that I've seen, a lot of French flag, a lot of goodies and presents that I got also from my birthday. Since I arrived at the airport, it's been insane. So and I've shown them also my special helmet for this weekend, which means a lot to me because Japan has a special place in my heart. Will always have. My favorite track also is here, so that's awesome.
All right, best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. Now, Charles, how much support do you have over here in Japan? Is there a Charles Leclerc fan club?
I don't know. There might be one. I'm lucky enough to be a Ferrari driver, so wherever we go in the world, we have a lot of support. But to come here in Japan is always extra special. No, the fans are so creative, so passionate, and they always come up with some crazy things on track. So it's always interesting and nice to be here.
What about performance then? Ferrari have been quick at Monza, they've been quick at Marina Bay, two very contrasting racetracks. What about Suzuka?
It's very difficult to predict any team's performance this year because it's just varying so much from track to track. We did not expect Red Bull to struggle that much in Singapore. We did not expect us to be that quick in Singapore. I hope the surprise will be a good surprise for us too this weekend. However, I think we expect Red Bull to be obviously in front and then to be a close fight with McLaren, Mercedes. It's been the case for the whole year, and every hundreds makes a difference. So it's very difficult to predict for now whether we'll be in front or behind. But we'll do our best to be the best of the rest.
Are you guys finding some consistency with this car now?
One thing that we did find for sure since Zandvoort is at least we have a good understanding of our car now. I think in Zandvoort we did quite a lot of tests, and it's been super useful for the whole team in the 2 or 3 weekends after that, in order to understand a bit more of our package, and that is crucial for the future developments, especially. Then for the short term, I don't think that will help us to basically fight for wins all the time. But at least we'll be able to maximize a bit more our package, which should be good. As I was saying before, no, it's only a few hundreds with Mercedes and McLaren, so we need to be on top of our game every weekend.
Any concerns about the return to the harder tyre compounds here?
No. I don't think this will play a significant part in our competitiveness. So no, I'm not concerned about the hard tyres.
All right, best of luck. Thank you for that, Charles. Valtteri, thank you for waiting. So, how was Kyoto? Temples,
beautiful.
Imperial palaces, you've seen it all?
Yeah, saw a lot. Actually the first time I went to Kyoto, and instead of going to Tokyo, thought I would like to explore a bit more. It's really traditional Japanese city, and actually the former capital of Japan, if somebody didn't know.
Now, what about Suzuka this weekend? You're a former winner here, 2019. How much do you look forward to coming back?
Like everyone, always look forward to it. It's a great track to drive, and have great memories here. And it's just good fun. The flow it offers, and like everyone explained already, the fans and everything combined, it's truly unique Grand Prix.
What about performance then? The upgrade that you brought to Singapore is difficult to draw too many conclusions about so far. Am I right? And what are you expecting here?
You're right. I think we always knew going into Singapore that would be a bit more challenging to see big differences. I mean, we see that everything is working as should, but in theory we should be able to extract a bit more out of it here because of the high-speed nature of the track, and that's kind of what that upgrade was targeting. So it's going to be an interesting weekend in that sense, and to learn more about it and to optimize it better, and hopefully that way be more competitive.
All right, best of luck, Valtteri. Thank you to you. Let's open this to the floor. Name and publication as ever.
Thank you, Tom. David Croft, Sky Sports F1. To Charles and to Lewis, we don't normally talk about the fight for second place. You two are winners, but that's where your team is, I think, for this season. How much of a win and a victory would it be to get that second place in the championship, given where your team started this season?
Yeah, I mean, at the end, I think as Ferrari, especially coming to this year, we finished second in the Constructors last year, so the target was to try and win the Constructors this year. Then after the first few races, we understood that this wasn't realistic because Red Bull is in a league of their own at the moment. So, I mean, the main target for Ferrari is to come back winning as soon as possible. Having said that, looking at this season, the best we can do is second place, and we'll do everything to achieve that. It's going to be tight because with Mercedes, also McLaren, but they are a bit further away in the Constructors. Now all three teams are super close, so it's going to be an exciting end of the season. It's just unfortunate that it's for the second place and not the first one.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same for me. No, I think it's exciting that we have this this race, this battle at the moment. I think our goal is, just like them, we started off pretty poorly at the beginning of the season. Definitely didn't expect ourselves to be second in the Constructors, and to now be be relatively close, particularly in the last couple of races, and the last race. And be fighting in the Constructors. I think it's exciting for us as a team, and of course we want to beat them just as they want to beat us. So it's going to take a full team effort, that's for sure.
We'll be back tomorrow for reaction from the practice sessions. Take care. Goodbye.